I was talking about my mum's school, and this little young boy threw a ball after the bell went, and my mum caught it obviously, but she got the ruler and punished for it.
Yeah.
But why? What's that all about? Like, like being at a playground. Stay still, bell's going, back to work now. Like, all right. And if you move, you're going to get a ruler.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get punished.
Mm.
What kind of education is that?
Yeah.
That's what I question. You see, that's not nice.
Mm.
And I know that schools are probably they don't do that kind of thing anymore. Like, they're not so strict. I don't know. Are they? I don't know because I don't really know.
I think.
Do they still ring the bell? Because I think they do.
Yeah, I think they still do. To be honest, I think they still do. Yeah.
But I don't know if they got to stand still or not, or just running or what.
Well, I think it depends on what's going on. But
I can remember doing that actually.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
staying still.
Yeah. Having to obviously get into lines. Yeah. You see what I mean? And file into the classroom.
It kind of makes people unhappy that they're being ordered. This is the thing. They're being ordered. They got to be do what they're told to do.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, that they're being told to line up and all this kind of stuff. And if you fall out of line a bit, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in the cupboard or whatever.
Mm.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
And it's just not the right way to go forward, I don't think. I mean, every child needs to be happy.
Yeah.
No matter what background or whatever race or colour, that's what I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And every child, I think, should be treated equally. And I know that some children, might be blind.
Mm.
Some children might find it difficult to read, or whatever. I just think there's lots of situations out there, but I just feel like it's unfair to force people to do or learn things they don't even necessarily want to learn.
Yeah.
Maybe some people don't even want to learn about history or learn about it.
Mm.
The past is the past. There's nothing you can do about it in a kind of way. And it's, really, we have got to kind of forget about the past.
Yeah.
But I do find it very interesting, and I do like to learn about my ancestors and things. But I find it's up to you whether you're interested in that, I feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like today, it's up to you. If you're a child at 10 years old, you can stay at home, go on the internet and learn about history.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Any child could.
Mm.
Or learn about whatever they choose to do.
Yeah.
I think it's the fastest way to learn, and I feel like a lot of people in this world, because of the internet, we're going back to the internet since it's been invented, they are learning in a very quick way.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because they got more access to information today than ever before.
Yeah, it don't matter what age you are. We're all kind of got this information today.
Yeah.
Key at a button.
At our fingertips.
Our fingertips in a kind of way. We've got this amazing new world, which I feel like only the people that use the internet can see. And I have got friends that don't even go on the internet, and they're living in a different world, really. I know what kind of world they're living in, sort of like, because I experienced that world. And I feel like they're not taking themselves forward with technology by ignoring it.
Yeah.
Because some people are ignoring it because they think, oh, I don't want to be in that world, but they got to. I feel like this is, we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Man is moving forward slowly together.
Yeah.
And we can't help it. We can't stop it. And I think, like saying that by another 10 years, the silicon chips and the computer and the software and the hardware is going to be a bit better than what we've got today.
Yeah.
Now, I know that we can't imagine that, but what's going to come up next, I don't know.
Yeah, well, they're always trying to come up with the next best creation or invention, aren't they? If you see what I mean, the next thing that is supposed to be deemed to be one of the the next best thing for mankind. That's beneficial for us in some way, shape, or form.
It'd be good that if we could get power, like electricity. I mean, we are in a kind of way, we're getting electricity from our sun today. What about that?
Yeah.
I mean, I went to the duck pond the other day, which I sometimes go and feed the birds over there, whatever, and film them. And there's a little island in the middle of the duck ponds, where all the ducks nest sometimes, and gather around. And it's really quite, you can't really see them when they're on there. But sometimes I think about sort of getting a dinghy and camping over there or whatever, you know. I've thought about it in the past, whatever. It's a nice little island there. But anyway, I went over the other day, and then they put some of these solar panels in there, and they cut all the trees back and all this.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's out of people's reach, I suppose, you know. But I was thinking about swimming over there this week and plugging the computer in and you know, sort of spending the night there, whatever.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. They're starting to plant these things everywhere on roofs, and it means we're going to get electricity from the sun.
Yeah.
Or wind.
Yeah.
Is the other one, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you got the large wind turbines.
Well, they're
and
putting
shit.
them everywhere now.
Yes. Trying to generate, you know, natural
energy.
You know.
But the problem with those wind thingies, they kill a lot of birds. Apparently.
Oh, okay.
Loads of them, but
Yeah.
I think we're all learning in life together.
Well, I guess it's the pros and everything has pros and cons, isn't it? You know, essentially. You know.
Like tomorrow, it's going to be a new day, isn't it? But you know, like tomorrow's another day for learning.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like some people can't learn. Like I said earlier on, I couldn't really learn much at the time, the things that I want to learn, because I was so busy in life. One, I had a family to keep until I had a job.
Yeah.
And then next time, you get your sleeping. You don't learn much when you're sleeping, do you? And so, the last 7 years, I've really sort of caught up. I feel. Just sort of researching on the internet until my mind feels really filled up. Actually, I feel like if the internet wasn't invented, I wouldn't know as much as I do now. It's kind of like being in a cave, isn't it? You know, you don't learn anything, but with the internet you can kind of sort of see right around the world.
Yeah.
You're not living in a cave. And that's why I feel like a lot of people are living in dark caves today.
Well, like you said, it connects you on a global scale, doesn't it? You know, you could contact anyone from the other side of the planet, or you could look at something from the other side of the planet, like especially like Google Earth, Google Maps, all these various things, different things that we've got today. Anything, like you said earlier, anything that you're interested in, anything you're passionate about, anything you want to research or look into, you can essentially find anything about it today. You know.
Yeah, but even like for instance Google Earth, I've looked at that for hours in the past.
Yeah.
Hours and hours, and I've gone around the Earth and sort of kind of studied it, looked at it closely, and the thing is, then you go to sleep, then you kind of remember it. You've been there in a funny way. You haven't, but you have, because you kind of studied it.
Yeah.
And you kind of like seeing pictures, and you say a certain place that you sort of research on Google Earth, you can just type it in YouTube.
Yeah.
And watch a few films of the streets or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And just do a bit of research, and it kind of feels like, oh, you've gone to sleep and you've actually been to Mexico.
Yeah.
Even though you haven't been on an airplane or done any of that, you've actually got a taste of it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And that's what I think like the internet's doing really, where it's a world where you've got a lot of music on there, thousands of millions of artists in many different forms, whether they're drawers or whatever, or writers and so on. Everyone's on the internet trying to get their name. I mean, a lot of people are trying to get famous out there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or trying to get rich, or just trying to get known.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to get famous, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm nearly dead. Don't know, but you know, I've got much longer left when I think about it. But I'm not. I don't feel like I like this show, for instance. I'm not really doing it for any fame purposes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in it for that, you know. I'm just sort of in it more because I've always enjoyed philosophy, and I want to, I suppose, it's your idea to do this show, and I'm quite enjoying it, and it's nice to chat about these things, I think.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And learn and educate ourselves about these different subjects that
Yeah,
we're all talking about.
and obviously hopefully educate other people at the same time.
No,
Yeah.
even I'm learning from doing it.
Yeah, likewise,
So-
and likewise. Yeah.
So even like when we first started this show to the end of it,
It's been an educational
no,
journey.
it's been a, you know, I'm going to be slightly maybe more educated at the end of it than I was when I first started it.
And likewise, you know, and hopefully too the viewership will be too, you know. The ones that do watch our podcast and appreciate our material and what we've got to offer and what we bring to the table, you know, as a podcast, you know. So yeah, that's always been our goal though, hasn't it? It's always been about education essentially. It's always been about sharing our knowledge, our information, our life experiences, whether it be good or bad, and just kind of being very transparent and kind of honest and kind of, you know, raw and uncut, really, with the, you know, with the podcast, you know. So,
yeah, and I've certainly learned. I've learned because we've spoken about many different subjects, and I feel like over that time I've learned, you know, gone up another level.
Yeah.
And by next year we'll go up another level maybe.
Oh, for sure.
And it's quite something to look forward to in life, really, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to, in a kind of way, moving forward to another year's time.
Yeah.
And seeing if I've learned anything else in life.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you always will, mate. You always will, especially like if you're kind of like we are anyway. We're kind of we're very knowledge driven, and you know, we like researching shit and finding out about stuff, and you know, when you've got a kind of like a thirst for knowledge, as I guess they would say, you know, someone who
question every subject.
Yeah, that likes to educate themselves and like to stay in tune with what's going on, and you know, their surroundings and their environment, and you know, life and the world, and you know, just a well-rounded individual, you know.
I mean, like, having great understanding is another thing.
Yeah.
And I do feel that I'm someone actually that's got quite a big understanding, of other people. And it's, I don't know how, but I've just gone around this country and a few other countries, wherever. I've just experienced meeting so many different people from different walks of life, rich and poor, that I've come to an understanding that we are the same, but we do come from different parents and all this. But I just feel like I've got a better understanding through my experience with different people because of the work that I did, and that was removals.
Yeah.
And I just went into so many different people's houses and met so many different people.
Yeah.
It kind of like educated me slowly to understand people more and more. And
you must have met people from all walks of life.
yeah, I mean even poor people. Yeah, you get the poorest people, but you can get some nasty poor people. Yeah, really horrible, honestly. But you can get some really kind poor people.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's the same with the rich.
Same applies to the rich.
That's right, and you know, some people are spoiled, some people are not.
Yeah.
Some people brought up properly, some people aren't.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's just having a great
That's what
understanding.
it boils down to, doesn't it?
It's having a great understanding to many things in life that we're all trying in life, I feel. Okay, but we're not had the perfect life. You know, it's like me, I've not had the perfect life.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
This is not the perfect world either, is it, really?
No.
It is the perfect
Far
world.
from.
I would say it is the perfect world when you think about the planet itself, planet Earth, how, you know, it's got rainbows on it and beautiful trees and everything, and beautiful birds, beautiful fish and everything. Millions of fish in the ocean, you know, whatever. But people kind of, you know, it's always been like this for centuries, and it's like the Great Divide, isn't it? Some people own land, some people have got it, and some people haven't.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people haven't.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a bit unfair. Like the world's very imperfect. And like even when I was born, my mum, being only 20 when she had me, she had my brother when she was 18 years old.
Yeah.
So she was quite young when she had me, but
Yeah.
there were so many problems around then. Just the war just ended. So, you know what I mean? You know, and everyone was mentally done in by the war in a funny way.
Kind
you
of
know?
disturbed,
Well, especially
mentally disturbed and shit.
You know, yeah, it created a, I don't know, you know, like children were school. Can you imagine my mum?
Yeah.
She's being born, the war is just over,
Yeah.
and she told me when she went to school, her dresses and other people's dresses were made of parachutes.
Oh, okay, okay.
From the war, you know, I don't know whether it's because of, you know, the D-Day and all that, you know, from parachutes from there, but they were making dresses for girls at school out of parachutes apparently, you know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, you know, just find it...
She was born, what, not 45?
Well, families were damaged back then, and before then.
Yeah. And I think the Second World War ended in 44, didn't it?
Yeah.
And she was born in 45, I presume, yeah?
Yeah, to be honest, I come from a very, very big family actually. My dad's got like 3 sisters and 16 brothers.
Yeah.
My mum's got 7 sisters and 5 brothers or something, do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
I don't know nothing about my dad's side, do you know what I mean? Nothing. But a little bit, but not much, okay? I know that my nan they were given a big farmhouse in Southampton.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was brought from the Ordinate Service apparently in 1939 or something, and it was given to her because she had so many children.
Yeah.
Right, but I got a big family, and I can remember on my mum's side, the family. But today I look at my family, it's all divided, and I don't see anyone. Do you know what I mean? Apart from my mum.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of my aunties.
Yeah.
And it's like it's all disappeared.
Mm.
And it's quite strange in a funny way. Looking, it feels like where our history is being hidden up a bit.
Yes.
Somehow. Alright, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're talking about education, aren't we?
Yeah.
Education, I feel, very important. And I feel like there's some simple facts in life that could be quite learned quite easily with a bit of common sense.
Oh yeah.
Children could learn a lot more. Like they don't. You've got to think about it, right? Like all these public schools they build, all the public ones.
Yeah.
They don't want everyone to leave school with gold badges.
Yeah.
So they can all get big jobs.
Yeah. Well, I think they already know too that the reality is that not everyone is going to leave school with those achievements.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what they want to.
But I think
they compress people down. I'm telling you.
But
everyone.
I think they already know because they already know. As we all know, everyone is different. So some people are going to excel academically more than other people, if you see what I mean, in a classroom setting, if you see what I mean. But that person might excel in something else, if you see what I mean, outside of academics, much more than that person who's good in, So, yeah, it's,
Well, I just enjoy drawing. That's all I want to do. Well, no, didn't want to, got to do this. That's what I had in my life. So, I feel like they violated me as a child. I mean, I would have been a better artist if I could just do art all the time.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, I know that, like, I love reading and writing, okay, and I mean, before I was 16, I really did not want to learn. And I get, like, angry with the teachers for even wanting to teach me, see. But now I want to learn, see. I wanted to learn, and I do know, if you see what I mean. And so I say a lot of children are there and they don't even want to learn, as you know. They don't want to, they get bored.
Yeah.
They want to go out and play and enjoy life. And I feel like these schools really take the enjoyment of life. You're not allowed to enjoy yourself anymore. You've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do this. And people can't learn. If they're not happy, they give up, you see. They give up hope, or they don't learn anything, honestly. If they're forced to learn or don't want to learn, they just shut themselves down inside or something. I just think it's about learning the right things in life.
Well, I think people just naturally gravitate towards the things in life that they do want to learn about. The things that interest you, things that make you happy, the things you're passionate about, the things you love, the things that, you know, drive you, you know, as a person. I think these are naturally just the things that you're just naturally curious and want to, you know as much about it as possible, if you see what I mean. Like, you know.
Well, does it? Well, I mean, like for instance, as I said earlier on, we got to learn how to defend ourselves in this world.
Yeah.
It's quite a dangerous world, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to be able to handle yourself.
But if the world wasn't so dangerous, nobody would have to educate to defend themselves, you see.
Mm.
But we learn in the world that we've got to learn karate or kickboxing or whatever, because that's the world we're living in. You know, we've got to learn to defend ourselves because it's a dangerous world and you might get attacked.
Yeah.
If it makes sense to you, you know. But I don't feel like human race has not always needed to defend themselves. So I mean, obviously we have.
Yeah.
We've got to defend ourselves to survive, haven't we?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I just feel like we only need to learn defence because the world's dangerous.
Yeah.
And we might get attacked from behind, if you see what I'm saying.
Well, not only that, but sometimes you just encounter someone who's just not in the right frame of mind. You know what I mean? They might try to start something just for the sake of it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's another trouble. I mean, there's a lot of people on different kinds of medication, all kinds of drugs out there. All these drugs doing something different to their mental being and to their mental personality, wherever they are, whoever they are, and whatever past they've had. And they take these drugs, and these drugs react different to each person again, you know, depending on who you are, on what behaviour or what kind of person you are. And you can imagine it, so all these different drugs out there that people are on to keep them calm, you know, but really, is it making the world more dangerous for everyone at the end of the day? Because I think it is. I think it's seriously. I feel like it's not educational, really. I feel like if we're going to be educational, we need to go the other way. We need to stop. There are some people with mental health problems.
Oh, for sure, yeah, most definitely.
But I feel like a lot of people, seriously, get mental health problems because they're not being treated right or treated like a human being, full stop.
Well, I think there's a lot of people out there, right, mate, that cannot cope with the pressures of life. No, especially in this day and age. If you're the average working class person in this day and age, life can be very, very hard, very, very difficult. Yeah. You see what I mean?
Especially with the price of living going up.
Especially with the price of living, especially if you've got children, etc., etc. You're working a lot, whatever. It can be very, very difficult, and there's a lot of people out there. Most people can find a way to manage and get by and keep going, but there are obviously a percentage of people out there that just are not able to cope. No. They find it too much, you know.
I think like even people with good jobs, okay, they got problems.
Yeah.
They might have a good house or big house even, yeah. But even people with big house with a lot of money, they still have arguments and fights.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. They have a bit of drink sometimes, like anyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, you get like really rich people, they don't drink at all. And then you get some couples that do drink together.
Yeah.
Alright, and they drink every weekend and things, every day. You get some couples that the wife smokes, but the husband don't, or the husband drinks, you know. And, you know, there's lots of different
dynamics,
or whatever out there, I feel. And I feel what do we need to be educated in life, in school, really? You know, like school, you can learn how to read without going to school because your parents can tell you.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people, especially today, especially in this day and age, where there's a lot of homeschooling. You know, you have got a lot of people out there that are able to afford to have their children homeschooled. If you see what I mean, have teachers coming in and etc. If you see what I mean, one of these tutors, you know. And obviously it costs a bit of money, but a lot of these, people will literally come in and, like a one-to-one setting, if you see what I mean. And obviously in a classroom it's a completely different setting, because you've got like one teacher and roughly between 28 to 31 pupils in a classroom, if you see what I mean. So trying to be able to teach one at a time would be absolutely, it'd be impossible, if you see what I mean. That's why she obviously has to address the whole class when she's teaching, if you see what I mean. But obviously if you're paying to go if you're getting homeschooled and you're having a one-to-one tutor, the likelihood of you understanding what is being taught and what's, what you're, trying to learn or whatever is, it's a great chance, if you see what I mean, of you understanding that, if you see what I mean, because you're got someone that's literally there during that time to focus on you, if you see what I mean, to give get you to understand it,
Another important thing is, very important thing is the actual teacher.
Yes, yeah.
Say it's an English teacher, is the English teacher a good English teacher or a bad English teacher?
Yeah.
I mean, a teacher might know a lot of English, but it might be a bad teacher because he's sort of abusing the children.
Yeah.
Or, there's all lots of different situations out there, I feel.
Yeah.
But I mean, even as we know, like, teachers fall in love with the children sometimes and all that kind of stuff, and you get all that kind of problem as well.
Yeah.
I just feel there's so many problems with school that it's untrue.
Yeah. I think it's hard because, like, even for me, when I was in secondary school, right, mate, I had so many distractions going on. And when you're a young teenager, and you're, don't get me wrong, the classes that I was interested in, the classes that I really enjoyed, that I was interested in, I did well in, if you see what I mean. But the other ones I could care less about, if you see what I mean, because I just wasn't interested, And there were so many distractions around me that I would end up, trying to go off, trying to, go flirt, go and talk to some girl.
That's what I'd like.
Or I would be gambling, or sometimes we'd be pitching marbles, or just chilling out, having a laugh, playing cards, or whatever, like, and it was just so much going on, like, I remember especially at secondary school, like, even from early secondary school, like, there was just so much going on. It was just like, it was hard to, like, fully concentrate on the academics side of things, if you see what I mean. It was, I remember being gambling, like, and making so much money, like, I was thinking to myself, like, I don't want to go to class because I'm making all this money, like, if you see what I mean, And obviously when you're young and you're making a certain amount of money at school just off gambling, just basically off the money that you took to school with you that day, and you ended up winning, like, 4 or 5 times that amount that you've already got, and you're going home, almost, a few times a week like that, and it's just, you're happy as a kid, as a young teenager, and, you got your money for the weekend, and, whatever you want to do, you can do, and you can afford to do it, because, you want a bit of money. But yeah, it was just, and obviously the same thing with the girls too, it was, that thing of,
Yeah, that's what
getting distracted.
I mean, when I was in my last 4 years of school, in the senior years, that's all I was really more interested in, girls, or just getting away from school, really. I didn't really enjoy it. Didn't enjoy any of the subjects apart from drawing. That's all I enjoyed.
I remember getting in trouble a few times for skipping school. Instead of going to school, a few times instead of going to school, I went back to my old community, if you see what I mean, for the day, and it chilled out,
I think we can all remember our last day of school, can't we?
Well, not even last day of school. I remember sometimes, like, we would. I remember there's a few times that I didn't even go to school. Like a few days that I, I'd get ready and pretend to go to school, but I just end up getting off, by my old community and going chilling out for the day, with the boys,
Yeah.
And I remember also obviously leaving school early a few times.
That's when you're enjoying life, when you're free.
When you're free.
Yeah, when you're free. From school, being somewhere you don't really want to be. I mean, I can understand it when you do enjoy it.
Yeah.
The subject, and you feel that you're good at the subject. It's like art, okay. Every time there's an art class,
yeah.
on a